Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode of Already Verified Podcast, and I'm your host, J.R. Fogel. It has been a minute, and for that, I do apologize, man. Life be lifing, all right? But I am back, and yeah, have a hell of a topic tonight, man. So, AI has finessed us again, man. AI has finessed us again, all right? OpenAI announced today that they will be discontinuing Sora, right? Cool. What I want you guys to understand is that with all these language models that's coming out, they can't operate without us. All right, we are the sauce. Stop entertaining these platforms and giving away your sauce for free, people. You see what they're doing. You see how they're moving. It ain't a big, you know what I'm saying, surprise here. They are moving in a way where it's like it's clearly showing you that they are using the general population to train these language models to take them to the next level, right? They have to give it to us for free. They have to give us something for free in order for us to give them our information, in order for us to give them our sauce, all right? And I need everybody to really understand what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was even really rocking with Sora or like that because as all these other platforms start popping up, Sora actually became like the little brother of all the AI. But what I want you guys to understand is that don't get it twisted. The numbers still prevail, right? Because OpenAI has so much of a lead on everybody else, they still led in the market, right? Popularity was elsewhere because as new users started to filter to all these other new platforms and YouTube got oversaturated with all these new tutorials, you still had a general base that was over as Sora educating it, generate this, uploading your image, your likeness, showing how you move, right? Being prompted to do certain things. I say all of this to say we are the value in whatever is going about to happen moving forward. And if we don't realize that we are the prize here, then we're going to get treated like a $2 whore. They're going to use us, throw us away, right? And we won't be a second thought. However, they can't exist without us. And this is where it's like we're at a pivotal point. I swear I hate saying certain words because, man, did that sound horrible. Pivotal point of this whole conversation because I want you guys to think about how fast everything has escalated, how fast things has moved, right? I'm a nerd for real. And even for me, it's taken me a minute to kind of like, I had to detach because you could go down a crazy rabbit hole with all of these platforms and you could just get like just overstimulated by all the different options, so much so you don't create anything, you don't even do anything, you stop producing as a whole, right? And that's the point that I actually reached. But in the midst of me actually taking a step back, I also had to realize that, yo, like, if I'm not pouring into the machine, the machine doesn't get my sauce. It will never know how I look, move, feel, think. Therefore, it will always be oblivious to anything involving J.R. Fogel. If we operate and we move with that thought process going forward, they will have no choice but to incentivize us, right? Even if and I'm going to be honest with you, there's going to be no stopping the train here. However, we can slow it down and make sure that we position ourselves for whatever is going to happen moving forward. If we do not, you can't say somebody didn't try to warn you. Because the facts of the matter is that like I think I just saw that DoorDash is now incentivizing dashers to hit a little switch that allows them access to the camera while they're making their deliveries. Therefore, if they could train their language model on how to properly make deliveries, you will be a goddamn fool if you allow DoorDash to watch you make your deliveries so you can train your replacements. I'm just telling you like what the play is. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to listen at all, for real. But the reality of all of this is that if you don't, I'm still going to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's time, people, that we figure out, like, what does a win look like for us? Like, when I'm coaching my clients, that's one of the first questions I ask. Like, what does a win look like for you? Because your definition of a win and my definition of a win might be different. But if we could come together as a society and say, hey, listen, as a collective, this is what we're looking to get out of this whole AI thing, right? It will forever be free. We will forever have access to the information. The information can't be tainted, right? Little things, right? We're not asking for the world, but we have to ask something or we'll never get anything out of any of this, right? We're getting played in all of this shit. Don't get it twisted. There's literally like 8 people in the world making the decisions for all the billions of people in the world. The average person is getting the short end of the stick as is. So it doesn't hurt to ask for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't hurt. But if we never ask for anything, we're never going to get anything because they're never going to volunteer to give us anything, right? Or they would have gave it to us. And I'm not in the, it's not innately in me to ask anybody for anything. Like, that's not how I move. Bet, I'm going to figure it out. But there's not enough people like me in the world to really like buck the system. So now we have to like figure out ways to get these pockets of people on the same page, or we will be victimized by everything that's going to happen moving forward. Like, listen, we can get into the whole entertainment side of everything, and we can be just distracted as much as possible, or we could choose to like be like, yo, like, you know what? Let me focus on some reality, like something that really matters right now, because yeah, this stuff is cool, but I need to focus on what's going to affect my kids moving forward. There's things that's happening in this world that our children will suffer from if we're not careful. And we can't be selfish enough to be like, oh, well, it ain't happening to me, so it's okay. That's selfish as hell, for real. We have to be willing to at least stand up and say, hey, hold on, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much right now. These data centers are going to be the end of the world. We have to stop, like, all of this shit. Like, right now, everything is moving so fast and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's saying anything. I don't know if I'm going crazy. I don't know if I'm tripping. But it feels like, yo, like as soon as I wake up, it's time to go to sleep again. It feels like something in the atmosphere has switched, and it's like these days are moving faster and faster, and it's just like, it's craziness. Like, I don't know what's going on around me right now, and when I get in this space, it's better for me to say, hold on. Okay. Y'all, we moving too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? They just announced that they're going to start the draft, that they're raising the draft age. The draft, think about what I'm talking about here, people. They're starting the draft in December, but they're raising the draft age to 42 years old. So now fathers and sons and daughters can all go to war together. To fight a war nobody wants to fight in the first place. It's not my fight, bro. Like, I'm venting right now. This is everything that's on my spirit. It's been a minute since I came to you guys. It's been a minute since I tapped in. So y'all about to get all of this raw. We're fighting wars with people who we don't even know what the hell they did for real. Why are we over there? We're fighting somebody else's war. Nobody wants to talk about it. We're fighting somebody else's fight. Like, bro, like, listen, I just had this conversation with my lady, right? And there was a situation where I was a part of a collective. And then the money started getting weird, right? And instead of us all as a collective talking to the person that handled the finances, we got on a separate group chat amongst ourselves and was venting, right? In the midst of this venting, I've always been the person to stand up and be like, listen, because I can't hide my face, right? I've always been that person to stand up and say, hey, something ain't right. What's up? You want to know what I realized happens to that person? Everybody that's supposed to be standing behind me. Remember the movie Jerry Maguire when he stood up for himself and quit? And he was like, who's coming with me? And everybody put their goddamn head down. That's exactly what happened here, right? And that's what is happening to us right now as a country, right? We're in a situation where I lost my complete train of thought. I had a hell of a road I was about to go down. People, y'all was about to love it. But we're in a situation where, as a country, we are stuck in this situation where, for whatever political reason, we're starting these small fires that's going to result in people ganging up on us, and people who had nothing to do with this shit in the first place suffering from it, right? Damn, I really wish I would have remembered my point, because my point was about to be fired, but I was just on a rant and I went too far down the street. But I promise you, when that comes back, I'm gonna hit that point home. But we live right now, and I'm just on a tangent. So if you still rocking with me, leave something in the chat. But yeah. We know who war we're fighting, is my point. We know whose war we're fighting. Now we have to, as a collective, figure out, are we willing to die for people who's not even fighting their own fight? You know, this reminds me of these movies that we watch where people are being blackmailed. It's like, I got so much information on you that if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, that, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like this on so much of a larger scale, because what's at risk is so much larger than we really realize. And it feels like, as a country, we're just in the middle of a stick up, right? Like somebody has a gun to our side and they're walking behind us, and we have to puppet it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yes, we're open, unlock that door right there. Like we have to do everything that these people are saying. But ain't nobody as a whole like standing up and like being about that action, like doing anything, right? Like, and I'm not talking like I'm the toughest guy in the world. I just want to have a world to leave to my kids, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be in a situation where my lady not stressed out about this shit. Like, yo, like, wait a minute. They can send me to war and I don't even, like, I'm not even rocking with none of this? Do you realize listen, there's going to be people that they send to war who's going to actively put their fucking guns down and walk to the other side, and will be more likely to turn on us than to shoot somebody else. We don't agree with anything that's going on right now. We need to get rid of everybody. Fire everybody. Everybody need to lose their job. Start from scratch. These are just my vicious nerd thoughts on a Tuesday night. And the reality of it is that, I just want to feel better just kind of getting it off my chest. Because at least I could say I said something to the world. At least I could say, hey, try to tell y'all for we're going too far. We're already too far left. We have to correct the path. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't overcorrect. We have to massively we have to drastically do something like a full halt. Hey, hold on. Stop. Again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like we know how this movie ends. Nobody lives. So why don't we just stop and give people a chance to live? You know what I'm saying? We could just stop. We could just stop. Data centers, stop. Wars. Hey, hold on. Let's just stop. Another thing. In school, we were taught so much BS. I don't know what's what, right? But the legislative branch, the executive branch, judicial branch, where y'all at? Where's Congress at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's just good people at? With common fucking sense. Just common sense. Where's the people with common sense? Where's the thinkers at? Where's the people who just move with a moral compass? Where those people at? Because right now I'm feeling like they don't even exist for real, man. Like it's bad. It's like we're in a bad space. Nobody's standing up for the common person. And this is above race because it's affecting black, white, blue, green. It don't even matter. We all getting it right now. We all getting the short end of the stick. We're all paying the same gas prices. But you want to know what I noticed though, right? I was on TikTok and I saw a video talking about Snap, right? And you know how they try to paint the picture like the black folks are the face of Snap? It ain't us. It's not. You go into these other ethnic grocery stores, and I want you guys to look at the pricing of everything, right? If you check the prices are oddly higher than the regular grocery store. But they have a consistent line. We're not talking about Whole Food prices either. We're talking about like in I'm in Cleveland, so it's like here is a grocery store I think called Orange or something like that. But you go in there, you feel like you don't belong first and foremost, but the prices are higher than everywhere else. This got me to thinking, right? So I actually went in my grocery cart, go to the checkout. I've got like 3 items, nothing crazy. But there's 4 people ahead of me of a certain background. Guess what they all had in common as a form of payment? EBT. I watched. I'm like, everybody's entering the PIN number, huh? Okay, cool. Let me tell you the business side of this, right? What this looks like is we take money from the government, we spend it here at a higher rate so we get more money, right? It doesn't matter that it's It's all invisible money. It's all coming. It ain't mine, but I didn't work for this. So it's all the American people's money. So, boom. But for this particular ethnic group, they spend money in this one particular space that's in their communities at a higher rate than everywhere else. So they're able to amass way more profits than the average person would. Which that money then goes into if I say the word, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But you know, we all gotta be PC, right? But the money all goes into a certain kitty over here, which then filters back to the community. We've been set up from the beginning, people, and us, the black folks, just want to be cool. We just want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this ain't that. The reality of it is that we're not in last place, but financially we are. Numbers wise, we got numbers, but we don't own no infrastructures. We can't rinse our money to redistribute to our communities because we don't have the infrastructure. There's none of that. Meanwhile, the Chinese, the other people, and everybody else have their infrastructures already set. Except for us. We've been thinking one thing is to play, but it's a whole nother play. It's a whole bigger play. And even this play might be smaller in the grand scheme of things. But on a local level, this is something that you could go in and witness for yourself. See, we thinking that these people just got it made and they just got these miraculous jobs. They don't. They got a system. And that's what we don't have. They're not beating us at anything. We have everything that we need, bro. I wish everybody could read The Alchemist and just get that understanding that like, yo, like we don't need no help. We got everything that we need within us. But we have to stop being backbiters and crabs in a barrel and not be afraid to see another person shine. It ain't even about that, bro. They love selling us stuff. But they never buy none of our shit. But they'll sell us everything. Come on, man. Come on. I would love to be entertaining for y'all, for real. I would love to like have like just a jovial conversation and just kind of like laugh and joke about everything, but I don't find none of this funny, for real. We've been finessed. And even when we got hit to the finesse, they laid out another finesse on us, right? So now we're fighting all of these other small little fires that we're trying to put out and we're trying to address. Meanwhile, we're distracted because while we're putting out these fires over here, they're starting more fires over there, and then they're building over there, and they're doing this over here, and we're just taking our eyes off the prize, and we're getting farther and farther away from peace for us. Like this is real talk, people. Like, look around. It's a lot of weird stuff happening in the world. It's been 4 meteors. 4 meteors this week. And don't go on YouTube and try to figure out what's going on with that shit, because they talk about, it's a space war. Nigga. What? I'm not making none of this up, but this is where we're at, for real. At what point do we be like, yo, come on, hold on. Y'all doing too much. Listen, these data centers, I gotta circle back to this because y'all don't realize like who signs off on this shit. No matter where you're watching this at, these data centers will be the end of civilization as we know it. Watch the movie Mad Max, people. Watch the movie Mad Max. This is what can happen. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in Florida right now, they have a water crisis because of data centers. Memphis, water crisis, data centers. Yo, they're polluting the water. There's so much, these data centers use so much water to cool the computers. Think about it like this. I'm going to paint a picture for you, right? If I take apart, if I take my computer that's sitting here right now, I sit on a table on top of a bucket, right? And I start streaming. At a certain point, that computer is going to get super hot. So the best way I can cool it off is I pour water on it, right? The water that I pour on it is going to cool it off. And from cooling it off, after cooling it off, it's all going to filter down into the bucket. Now, I get thirsty. Would you drink that water? This is what's happening, right? The water that's being used to cool off the data centers is going right back into the lakes, the rivers that they're closest to. And it's polluting the drinking water. So as the water goes through the filtration systems and all of this little extra shit, which already is putting shit in the system, it's putting stuff in there that they can't kill. Therefore, creating a bigger issue with the water. So now they're asking people to take shorter showers, to use less water, and all this little extra stuff, right? Where do you see this going? Like, it doesn't end good. I seen Mad Max. I told y'all 10 years ago, Mad Max is my worst fear of what's going to happen to the civilization. Because water is the source of all life. Or so we've been told. Because I don't know what to believe these days. But since I don't have any other information to go off of, we're going to go off of that information. And then we're just going to say, hey, all right, so what am I supposed to do with this? Who's making these decisions to say, yo, it's a good idea to have more data centers that's going to pollute more water across the country? We don't have them now. We don't need AI to go no further than what AI has gone already. It's already done enough damage. So we are able to do this right now without all the data centers. What are you planning where you're going to need 20 data centers, 30 data centers, 50 data centers, one in each state? For what and who? Come on, man. Like, there's questions that we probably don't want the answers to, but we need to start asking and demanding an answer to, because without it, we're going to be victims of this whole process. And if you have kids, I want you to think about something. This shit's on us for real. We can't blame nobody else. Man, what would they say about our generation who just sat back and did nothing while our kids got the I was about to say something, but I would like this video to stay up. We live in a soft society and a soft culture right now, man. And there's some entertaining things I want to talk about. There's some like lighthearted things that I said I was gonna talk about tonight. But I ain't in the mood for none of that, man. Like, cause don't none of that shit really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. We all want to feel better. We all want to feel like it's gonna be okay. But if we ain't doing nothing, man, like help ain't on its way. We are the help. We are the help. What are we gonna do? Like, what? The people that we have chosen to put in position to help us ain't helping us. I saw today that TSA is being replaced with ICE. Interesting. You know what ICE is good at? They're not good at looking at the monitors to see what's in your bags and all of that stuff. ICE is good at checking IDs, right? So they're using all of this stuff as maybe a big training exercise to check more IDs and learn the processes and all of this little extra stuff just to give people more of a headache. What's going to happen during the next election? I'm telling you, like, these are very uncomfortable questions that I'm bringing up that are going to require uncomfortable dialogue, but we need the answers to. And before you say, oh, another conspiracy theorist, do your research. Because guess what? The conspiracy theorists are winning. On the scoreboard, everything that they have said, and I don't care who the first person that said it was, have been pretty damn accurate so far. This is where we're at. This is where we're at as a country, man. We can't make this up no more. It's like, yo, this is all like a horrible reality TV show. And nobody's doing anything to prevent the inevitable from happening. We know how this is going to end if we don't do anything. So we have to do something. But what does that something look like? I think that might be the part where we're kind of stuck at, right? And I'm not saying that we should all like bear arms, but it don't hurt to get some bullets. It don't hurt to have just a stash just in case things go sideways. But maybe we try to strike up some dialogue. Maybe we get more active with the politicians that we have access to. But we can't just sit back and do nothing, is the point. We can't sit back and do nothing. "10 years from now, what will be the thing that we can hang our hat on and say, yo, like, we did that. We stood up. Or will we be in a position where, shit, we ain't here? Or will we be in a position where we can't say it? Because if we say it out loud, we get in trouble. Sounds extreme, but it's real. Sounds made up, but it's real. These are real realities that we all can face if we just choose to go along to get along. This ain't time for that. We gotta do something. But we gotta do something. And this is another episode of the Already Verified Podcast, people. Thanks for listening to me. If you watch this video all the way through, Leave a comment below, man. Share your thoughts. You don't have to be tough. I think we've all pretended to be tough for too long. I think we all, no matter the color, just want the best for our families. But what I'm here to tell you is that if you watch the movie Mad Max, pay attention to who the warriors were and who their targets were. It'll creep you out. See, what a lot of people don't realize is that when you allow other people to actively be oppressed and stomped on and just beat down, just because you don't do it doesn't not make you a target. So it's in your best interest to stand with us, to help enact change for all of us, so we all can live a better life. We can give in to our differences later. But let's just make sure that we got the ability to do so. I'm J.R. Fogle, and this is Already Verified. Good night.